What are you throwing out there, Philip?
Special. Red bugs for feeding. Like always. No, I'm just kidding. There's grass right there. Hydrilla over here.
Oh yeah.
A couple isolated clumps, you can see them on the wind when the wind blows over.
Mm-hmm. See him sticking out of the water a little bit.
With all this great cover, you got to figure out which piece they want the most.
That's it.
A few fish we caught this morning were on Hydrilla.
Yep.
Tell right there by look at it. It's not that healthy.
No, it's kind of nasty, ain't it? Kind of a lot of mud it looks like around it. There you go.
So, as we just seen, you know, we're fishing these isolated hydrilla clumps. It's not the healthiest hydrilla, but they can hold fish still. I mean, it's any kind of structure or any kind of a cover. It's kind of a windy day. We're over here on the calm side of the lake. We started over on the windy side of the lake. Now it's just gotten so windy that to kind of be more effective, you know, we might have been on better fish over there, but at the same time, would you rather be on better fish and not fish effective, or fish more effective for maybe not as good as fish? So it's kind of if or if, you know. We're out here pre-fishing for a tournament, but nice little dark greenie.
Yeah.
Hydrilla. Can't get another one. All the tackle trays in the world, I still use
Still use a plastic bag.
Yeah.
Fisherman's secret right there.
Straight out of the pack. Can't beat them. Red bug speedworm. Hey, Zoom, if you're listening.
Send us some freebies, Zoom.
Some more clumps out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last fish came closer to the bank. I mean, kind of could have been on that grass, K grass right there, but when he hit it, I felt him. He was in hydrilla. Fish this morning, like we were talking about, they were on hydrilla as well. So you know, that's a couple fish today on hydrilla. So good sign. A little bait, grass. Doesn't have to be the healthiest. I mean, the healthier the grass, obviously, that's the better stuff. But you know, right now it's kind of in recovery mode because of not being able to be on what we really want to be on because it's just so darn windy over there. Definitely don't want to move too fast. I was throwing a swim jig earlier. got 2 little taps, but swim jig was also heavier, and I would get it down in the soot on the grass, and they just didn't. They wouldn't touch it once they got down in there. So went with a lighter swimming presentation with a speed worm and caught a fish. So let's see what we can do. So usually I would throw a Cinco on a tungsten with a bobber stop. But today I had a swim bait rig with a Hayabusa with a belly weight with a screw lock. I was gonna. It looks like they're not gonna eat that fry because it's just they're not wanting to move too much. So I'm gonna, other than tying a tungsten on, I'm just gonna use that, which is fine. I've caught plenty of fish on this hook, so I'll show you guys real quick. Probably not the funnest way to fish or the fastest way, but it's definitely efficient. And you know, when it gets tough, I mean, you got to do whatever you got to do to get spot fish. I mean, oh, I think that's a bite. Thought I got hit right there. All we're using is a 5/0 offset shank hook, 1/4 ounce worth of weight tungsten, and we got a peg with a bobber stop. Nothing fancy. 15-pound fluorocarbon. That's a good piece.
Looks pretty healthy.
Yeah, it's on borderline where it's starting to get bad. You can see the black on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people think that's algae, but you can actually tell it's a dead part of it. So, and a lot can happen with that. I mean, it could be aquatic maintenance, control. You know, and also it doesn't get too cold down here in Florida, but you know, once it starts getting cooler, you'll see a lot of this hydrilla dying off. But you've got to have that, because if you didn't, it would top out everywhere, and you really couldn't fish anymore.
Choke out the lake.
Huh?
It'll choke out the lake, pretty much.
Choke out the water quality and everything. See more hydrilla up there as well. So, you know, this, if we catch another fish in this grass, especially with having a tournament out here, you would want to mark a waypoint on this. I just saw a bait fish flip right here in front of me.
Oh yeah.
Some more grass here. Hydrilla. I mean, there's several ways I would tackle fishing like this. I mean, one of my favorite ways is either a chatterbait or a lipless crankbait, and just, you know, drag it through the grass, pop it out of the grass, snap it, whatever you want to call it. But right now, it's just it doesn't seem like they want any of that. I've done it a couple times. It's kind of hard to go away from what's working. This is a lake that's not really known for its size, but it's known for decent water quality, good vegetation. It seems like it's got that. I mean, I've been here before, and it was better a few years back, but you know, lakes go up and down. When fishing hydrilla, high percentage area. So you probably where, if you're fishing sparse hydrilla, a key spot would be where it mats up like that. You see how it gets a little bit thicker right there. So if they're truly on hydrilla, you can find a thick patch around them, surrounded by sparse grass. They'll probably be on the harder, thicker spot. Just because that's just fish like the thickest cover they can find sometimes. And if they're in that thick stuff, then sometimes finding even thicker stuff can work.
Now the wind today being so strong on the other side of the lake, is it better being on this side of the lake because they're not being pushed up somewhere?
I think about it like this. I mean, we're looking at I don't got the front graph on, but I think we're looking at about 6 foot deep, and it's over there. It's capping 2 feet.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're down to 4 foot of water. That, in my mind, that is worth anything. And when it's like that, and the water gets stirred up, and there's soot on the bottom, it's getting stirred up. The water quality's went to really crap over there. When it gets real windy like that, sometimes it's hard for those bass to find the bait. And if they're not looking for bait and they're just kind of hanging out, you got to really nail them on the head. And and it's hard to fish effective. Like I said, that's the #1 thing. Is if you can't fish effective, if you can't fish what you're fishing effective, it's kind of hard to get bit. So I'd rather come to an area where I can fish more effective and really grind for a bite than an area that I just can't get bit in, or that I might be surrounded by fish, but they're just not. You can't effectively get the bait to them every time. So that's my outtake on that. I mean, we still got a good amount of wind on this side. I mean, this is about what it looked like this morning over on the spot that we were on. And, it was doing pretty decent. The last fish being so green, that's another indication that he was in hydrilla, because those fish, when they get down in those mats and thick clumps, they start getting really dark. And usually when you find those really light ones, they're either in deeper water or they're in somewhere where it's pretty sunny, I'm not saying a fish is a chameleon, but he kind of blends in what he's around.
Makes sense.
Then we're going to go straight to the 3/8. I think that's the smartest way to do it. Got some isolated cattails coming up. See that hydrilla right there? Doesn't look too appetizing to me. It's got a little bit of blown in trash on top of it, That looks like some spike rush and then eelgrass mixed in, and got some on the trolling motor. And it looks like it ain't snapping clean. It's all nice and mushy.
Just matted up.
But it does make a little mess. Big key. Last time I came here, there was a lot more vegetation, and it was a really good topwater bite in the morning. And once it got about this time into later into the day, you could just take a swim jig or a worm and just throw it up in the edge of that grass and pretty much bring it out, and they would get it pretty good. Now we're getting into a whole different kind of scenery. We got isolated cattails, a few patches, and that's a really good area for spawning season, especially to hold on isolated cover. But it's also really, any time of the year, it's really good for big fish. A lot of big fish are really territorial, and they'll find a small piece of cover and they'll hold it and they won't let nothing else get on it. And usually that fish is going to be really aggressive. You know, he's going to hit on the fall. If he doesn't hit on the fall, he's going to make sure you know he's there. So, a few small casts each one will pretty much cover the area. A lot of people would use braid for this. I use braid. I use braid too, but I don't think it's necessary. This cover really isn't as thick as it once was. And I have more confidence in fluorocarbon. I've always used it. So. You start fishing around pads and stuff that you have to really break through to get the fish out, then you know you probably go for braid with that. But in this situation, it's nothing too hard to get out of.